What's going on, folks? I am Goat. Welcome back to Warframe. How the hell are you? So we're here to talk about, as the title would suggest, the 4 new augments and the Spinnerex. I've decided to revisit the Spinnerex specifically because I was right. I had a funny feeling I was right. So albeit I felt a little meh about the Spinnerex releasing with a frame that can't really use a melee and the ultimate ability, there's something there. So first, Jade. I'm not going to do the Jade augment. The truth of it is that Jade, as she is built exactly how I want her. Now, this is a twofold thing. For one, yeah, it's the build that I have that I want, that I thoroughly enjoy the best. Two, because of my personal vision issues that I have, the Jade light beams do kind of screw with my eyes a little bit, and the augment in itself, on a momento, the augment in itself is basically applied to the first ability. So you throw in the little aura area that enemies that walk into that shit get hit with judgment, you know, the little marker above their head, and they all have a 5% chance basically per instance of damage for a Jade light beam to spawn above them for 3 seconds. From what I've seen from this, this is just going to be screen clutter horseshit that I just do not want to fuck about with. Especially when I'm already quite comfortable with the Jade build as it is. That you know, video will be coming shortly. So we'll go over why that build is what it is and so on. But just at least want to cover my reasons for it. I'm sure somebody out there has got a Jade video, you know, a Jade augment video. Definitely check that out. I'm just not going to be the guy for that one. It's going to screw with me too much personally. So our next one, Caliban. This makes this Caliban. Let's be honest here, okay? Caliban released, Caliban was dog shit. Caliban had an armor strip, had really mentally disabled sentience. Razor Gyre was a pure joke, and Sentient Wrath had an enemy cap that would basically get you killed while you were in the middle of casting that shit. And I'm sorry if you hear any pops in the background. I've got assholes shooting off fireworks like a motherfucker. Boom, 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 boom. Then they reworked him. Razor Gyre all of a sudden became okay. Like regenerating health, shields plus energy, depending on the amount of enemies that you hit, not bad. Sentient Wrath lost its enemy cap. The Sentience became pretty damn good. Ortholis were the Sentience that I had the problem with, and then Fusion Strike, albeit they said that it was going to be more of a chaining style blast damage. Basically, the Tau damage that all of Caliban's stuff is basically just adding in for more status vulnerability, if you want to put it that way. It makes it more probable to take status damage. So it's like adding damage vulnerability, but kind of incentivizing throwing a lot of status at enemies because they will just absorb it like a fucking sponge. Now, the thing is I sacrificed out one mod, okay? Sacrificed out one mod, which was Vigilante Vigor. Okay, like you can see, exact same build, sacrificed out Vigilante Vigor. The reason being is because this makes the Ortholis really good. There is one small hiccup with this, and that is the environment itself, and I will show you exactly what the fuck I mean. But basically, you go spinny spins, as long as these guys are cast, you go spinny, spinny, spin, and you basically just fuck everybody else's day up. Now, is there a couple of ways to buff this particular build? Absolutely there is. Way number one, excuse me, well, it's like 3, technically. You can go with Worthy Camaraderie. That's fine. Truthfully, I don't really see a need for it, because way number 2 is to basically just bypass Fusion Strike, because Fusion Strike just is kind of energy hungry anyway. But bypass Fusion Strike and throw Roar here instead. Roar's going to do more than what Worthy Camaraderie is going to do. Granted, if you don't want to take away the armor strip, that's fine. You can easily just come over here and just toss Worthy Camaraderie here. Or, I'm sorry, Summoner's Wrath. My god, I'm dumb, okay? You can just as easily throw Summoner's Wrath here. Perfectly fine. Not a big deal. You can also go with Augmented rather than Arcane Steadfast. I would still, because he's a shield-based frame, I would really highly recommend staying with Arcane Aegis, but it's up to you, especially if you're not running Fusion Strike. Augmented is really gonna be nice. Okay, it's 100% going to be nice. I just wanted to show the base kit as it is, and you'll see I don't even use Fusion Strike. But no, like if you're not using Roar and you're not using Mold Augmented, then sure, Summoner's Wrath is fine. The hiccup, okay, and this is the thing, much like Araxia, this is even worse as far as spawned in buddies, right? So like with Araxia, you get the little scuttlers and they spawn at whatever the base level is of the enemies. They don't grow, they don't scale up with the enemies at all. This shit starts at a pathetic rank 30 and scales up with your ability strength. So at 214% ability strength, these bastards are only level 64. Hence why putting like Molt Augmented on here is a good idea. Molt Augmented coupled with Roar means Arcane Steadfast really just doesn't have much of a function anyway. So, I mean, like, it's completely functional this way, okay? But yeah, I mean, other than that, the build's pretty straightforward. We're going for, you know, some duration, decent amount of range, good amount of ability strength, you know, and like I said, you know, Molt Augmented, Roar, you know, the aura is kind of up to you. You can go Growing Power if you want. I mean, technically, I guess you could go, you know, Corrosive Projection, kind of weaken the armor a little bit, considering armor scaling has changed. I mean, that is a feasible thing to do, but I don't know that it's really necessary. But yeah, there we go. Sorry, rambling on. So, let's get the Orthos, and let's cast them, right? So, we're not even going to use Fusion Strike. We're just going to leave these bitches paused. Now, there is a reason for this, and I want to show the environmental problem with this. Okay? So, and I'm here, and we just throw these bitches all over the place, and they are putting in the work. Notice a little problem, though. You chuck somebody over something, and the line of sight for the enemies is really bad. Okay, like, really bad. Okay, you die. Who else is... Really? Here, can you kill these people? Oh my god, one of them got flung all the way up there. Two of them. Really, bitch. Yeah, the environmental line of sight is a little goofy. You know, if I would stop shooting the environment, that would be helpful. So the only complaint that I have about this is that the environmental line of sight is a problem. Now, is it a problem in all maps? No. Boxes, things like that, they're really not going to cause too many problems because everybody does get grouped. But that's the thing, is that everybody gets grouped up, and you only kind of like Hydroid's his second ability. So it's a pretty good time. Yeah, pretty good time. Regen health, regen energy, regen shields, all while grouping enemies and then letting the Ortholis basically just absolutely rain hate on these fuckers. Works just fine. Into Citrine. Now, Citrine, oh boy, oh boy. I'm going to tell you right now, if you like the idea of doing a pure armor strip pillage Citrine, you'll change one shard out to strength and just lose a little bit of duration, and it's because of the augment that you can lose the duration. So, base kit, right? No subsumes. Nothing, well, okay, sorry, take that back. Almost base kit, because I don't like Screen Clutter of the Forest, so we're still running pillage. There's a caveat to this particular augment, right? So basically, you have to attach it to your free moving companions. You have to use a Vulpaphyla, a Predacite, a Kubro, or a Kafat. Okay, not a big deal, especially since they don't permadie anymore. Pretty good time. And this thing gets 50% more duration just for existing on a moving animal. Now, this is basically the exact same build minus Augur Secrets, which is why I can just as easily swap that shard over, get my, get 15% ability strength back into this, be above the 330 cap, and have a nice fucking day. I'll be at like 332 or 333. So, I'll be right back above the cap to do a pure armor strip, but you'll see that it really doesn't matter because 2 pulses of pillage early on will still very easily get you the armor strip, and that is that. Aside from that, this is the exact same build that you guys saw, when I did the Citrine frame build, and it is what it is. Okay, so we're gonna just go ahead and put the crystal butt plug on the cat, because the cat is a good time. And we are not going to use anything else but guns and pillage. Here, actually, you know what? We'll do this. The rest of them died because of stuff. Good times. Now, I don't know if you saw the Spinnerex. As I mentioned in the Araxia video, I thought frames like Sarin, Citrine, anything that's proccing toxin potentially has the ability to make this weapon pretty fucking good. Now, you got to take into account Prismatic Shell procs toxin quite freely at that, at a very, very high status chance at status duration with my build. So, yeah. So with the Spinnerex, I went with this. Now, it's pretty straightforward. It's still relatively cheap, and it works very fucking well. And with the unique trait of having toxin procced on enemies, and keeping toxin active on the weapon by using a blast build, this makes it to where if any of the survivors that have not died from this weapon or the prismatic gem, they are not a fan of this at all. Okay, like there would just be a person die, poof, toxin cloud, poof, dead. Like a whole line of people can just die for no fucking reason other than somebody farted when they died. Just saying. So yeah, and melee animosity, the melee is really up to you on that one. You can do melee duplicate. I mean, hell, you can do melee crescendo if you really wanted to, if you wanted to deal with a bunch of bullshit finishers. Sky's kind of limit with it. I like melee animosity just because I can build up for a fat critical, heavy attack if I want to, and coupling Tennokai in there makes it make sense. Okay, so we're gonna throw the gem back on, right? And we're gonna spawn these bitches. See, so here's the fun thing. First we do this, we're just gonna bust out the weapon. Looks like melee influence, doesn't it? That was a whole bunch of toxin clouds just busting out at once, because quite a few people died. And all I have is this insane ass little Vulpaphyla that doesn't even have maxed claws, by the way. It's just one of my support setups for, yeah, tampon. Gotta like that. Just a basic bitch support, setup. It's like 4 forma. Pretty functional as it sits. The Panzer claws, not even fully finished. 100%, not even fully finished. Not where I want them at all. Just pure electricity and get the fuck out of here. Could I make them toxin instead? Sure. Especially, like basically make config C toxin claws. Absolutely. And would that help the prismatic gem augment do its thing? 100% it would. So, I mean, yeah, 100% you could do that. Really up to you. I mean, hell. Nah, I'm not gonna do it right now because I'll change their copy and do all that bullshit. But as you saw, it works quite well. The Spinnerex is really fucking good on here. And finally, we're gonna go to Kalervo. Now, I have made a point in pointing out my own bullshit with my defensive Storm of Ukko build, right? The Storm of Ukko in itself is kind of energy hungry. The second ability causes you to be very energy hungry because, albeit Overguard is very, very good, Overguard is also kind of spammy at times if you're not Dante. This augment completely reduces the necessity of any sort of spam casting and makes this nowhere near as energy hungry. So we haven't done the Kalervo build yet as far as the frame build release, but it is coming soon. But all I did, okay, is I took, what the fuck did I have on there? I don't even remember what the hell I had on. I think it was Augur Secrets. Yeah, it was, because I gave up some Overguard. It was Augur Secrets. I gave up Augur Secrets and a little bit of ability strength in regards to Overguard, because of what this crazy motherfucker does. Basically, you cast it and it spins around, and the blast procs are kind of whatever. But they spin the fuck around, and it's based off of your duration. So I'm running a solid 43.12 seconds at 173% duration on a defensive build, okay? And these things just go around and hit people that hit, enemies that get close to you, and just keep upping your fucking Overguard. So instead of having to cast, wait, oh shit, I hope I hit all these fucking people. Cool, we're fine. This just makes this very, very good. And this is the defensive build. So funny enough, this is kind of the weaker build. Okay. But we're just gonna show it as is, right? So we're gonna do this. Watch the overguard. Okay, so now we're max. Let's just make them cease, shall we? Boom, they're all fucking dead. And the rings are still going. 14 seconds left on these motherfuckers. It's one negative. We'll see it here in the next 7 seconds. It's such a minute negative, I don't even care. You'll see the rings change direction. They start pointing at you, and then, boom. You take a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of overguard damage when they come back and return. You're going to have your maximum overguard at that point anyway, unless there's no enemies around. So you're going to be fine. That tiny little negative of overguard when you get struck by your own knives is such a minimal, stupid thing that does not matter. So that's been the augments, and the Spinnerex. The Spinnerex as built, I've tested it with like 7 other frames, works just fine, but with Citrine, it's fucking busted good. So yeah, take it as you will. It's a good time. Like the Jade augment, I have nothing against the augment other than a personal level of comfort of play. That's really what it is. You deal with enough Jade Xmas as it is. I don't need me procking more Jade beams all over the fucking place, which is why I don't like running any of my hounds with an extra, you know, the Xmas stealing abilities, because, like, you know, beams of bullshit, if it gets near Jade Xmas, and I'm shooting at that damn thing thinking that, you know, it's a problem for me. Overall, I think the augments are solid. I think the Spinnerex, albeit I think it's dumb that it released with a frame that really can't utilize it, but it's a pretty damn good. Like, it's my favorite whip at this point, I'll say that. That's saying a lot, because I've hated whips up to this point. So that is it. That is all. I want to thank you very much for watching. As always, we'll catch you in the next one, all right?